Today we're going to dig into some ancient wisdom that totally flips our modern ideas about getting rich right on their head. We're talking about 5 incredibly powerful rules for building wealth, and they come straight from the mind of one of the greatest philosophers ever, Socrates. Okay, let's just dive right in.
So let's kick things off with a real bombshell. Socrates told his students that wealth doesn't belong to the person who just toils away day and night. Now, this probably goes against every single thing you've ever been told about hard work. It's a really bold statement, and it's designed to make you stop and really think.
And yeah, that's the exact question his disciples asked. If it's not about endless, grinding hard work, then what is the real secret to becoming wealthy? I mean, how can some people build these massive fortunes while other people who work just as hard, sometimes even harder, just struggle to get by? That's the huge question we're unpacking today.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to bust the great myth of wealth. Then, we'll break down Socrates' 5 essential rules: investing in your intellect, recognizing opportunities, understanding that time is wealth, preparing yourself for success, and finally, the huge importance of changing the company you keep. Okay, first things first. Before you can even think about building wealth, you've got to tear down the biggest myth that surrounds it, this idea that pure physical labor is the key. Socrates argued that this is just fundamentally wrong. Now look at this contrast. It's pretty stark. On one hand, you have physical labor. Picture a laborer, probably the hardest working person around, yet they often stay poor. But on the other hand, you've got mental strength. Kings and traders, they're not doing the physical work themselves. They use their minds to direct other people's labor. See, wealth, as Socrates taught, is really a game of intellect. And this just illustrates the point perfectly. Imagine this little thought experiment for a second. What if we took all the money in the entire world and just gave everyone an equal share? Socrates predicted that within just a few years, all that money would quickly find its way right back into the pockets of the very same people who had it before. Why? Because true wealth isn't the money itself, it's the intellect, the mindset that knows how to build it and, more importantly, how to keep it. And that leads us directly to the first and, honestly, the most fundamental rule of them all. If intellect is the real key, then your very first investment has to be in your own mind. 1. So the whole point here is to shift your focus. You need to put your time, your money, and your energy into learning. Socrates used this amazing metaphor. He said, stop relying only on your body and start training the horse of your mind. You have to unleash it, let it run. This isn't something passive. It's like a daily workout for your brain, because that continuous learning is what separates the people who grow from the people who just stay stuck. All right. Let's move on to our second rule, and you'll see how this builds. Once your mind is sharp, you got to use it to see what everyone else is missing: opportunities. Next up, rule 2. The thing is, opportunities rarely just knock on your door and introduce themselves. According to Socrates, they almost always come in disguise. They might look like a huge problem, or a piece of harsh criticism, or maybe even just a casual offhand comment from a friend. That sharp intellect you built in Rule 1? Yeah, this is what it's for. To see the potential hidden inside a challenge that everyone else just sees as a dead end. This brings us to our third rule, which is a big mental shift in how we see value. It's not really about money. It's about the one thing that money can never, ever buy. And the third rule is, just think about this for a second. If you lose money, you can always go out and make more. But if you lose time, it is gone forever. It is the only truly non-renewable resource in your entire life. The world's wealthiest people are all on the same page here. Their single greatest asset is their time. Building wealth is like a war, and it's won by the person who is the most organized and the most disciplined with every single minute of their day. And that discipline we were just talking about, well, it's right at the heart of our fourth rule. You see, it's one thing to make money, but it's a whole other ballgame to actually keep it. Rule 4. Socrates explained this with this really powerful analogy, which we can call the sieve principle. He said a person without discipline is like a sieve, or maybe a leaky pot. You can pour endless amounts of water or wealth into it, but it's just going to drain right out. The key is you have to fix the leaks and build a solid container before the wealth even arrives. So what are these leaks, these holes in the pot? They're character traits. Things like greed, extravagance, just wasteful spending, a general lack of discipline, the need to show off for other people, and just plain old poor habits. Socrates warned that wealth is a test of your character, and if these leaks exist, any money you get your hands on will eventually, guaranteed, disappear. This brings us to our fifth and final rule, and this might be the most impactful one of all. It's all about the environment that you create for yourself. And finally, rule number 5. This is such a powerful statement. Just let that sink in. Your income, your character, your future, it's all a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with lazy, negative people, you know what? Their mindset is going to drag you down. But if you surround yourself with ambitious, disciplined, and intelligent people, their energy is going to lift you up. It's almost like a law of nature. So let's just do a quick recap of Socrates' 5-step path. Number 1, invest in your intellect. Number 2, recognize those opportunities that are in disguise. 3, value your time above absolutely everything else. 4, prepare yourself by building discipline. And 5, consciously, deliberately choose the company you keep. But in the end, Socrates left his students with this one final crucial thought. Knowledge is totally useless without action. You now know these 5 rules, but they mean absolutely nothing until you actually apply them. So the real question isn't what you've learned today. It's what are you going to do with it?